from the highly contagious pulmonary tuberculosis. Two-thirds of the patients are of pulmonary tuberculosis and one-third are of extrapulmonary tuberculosis. Almost all branches is facing the problem of tuberculosis. There is a cardiology, gastroenterology, neurology, skin specialist, gynecologist. India has the highest number of MDR tuberculosis, that is a 3 lakhs per year, and death due to the TB per year is in world it is a 2 million people, while in India it is almost 4 lakhs. That is a every 3 minutes there is a 2 deaths. So this is a very high problem and burden for the country. Why it is matter of the concern? Despite the lot of measures in the last decade, tuberculosis remains one of the most serious global public health challenges, and TB remains the #1 killer of HIV co-infected patients and is still the leading cause of the death in most productive age groups. Lot of young people are dying because of tuberculosis. That is very big loss to the India. Drug resistance poses a serious challenge to the tuberculosis control, and 3.6% of the all newly diagnosed cases had multi-drug resistant TB, of whom only 7% were diagnosed and notified. See, this is the biggest problem is TDR TBs, that is a total drug resistant tuberculosis. Iran was the first country to detect the TDR TB before 3 years ago. India seems to the second country to report the deadly form of the disease, that is a TDR TB, and it's a result of the recent mutation of the bacilli. In Bombay, there were 12 students who were having a total drug resistance, and all 12 had died. So this is a big problem nowadays we are facing in field of tuberculosis. In general, TB is still out of control with continued transmission complicated by the frightening menace of the extreme drug resistance. So main problem in treatment of tuberculosis is the drug resistance. Today I will be speaking on the recent advances in diagnostic, treatment and prevention. What is the new test for the diagnosis of the tuberculosis? They are the presence of the tuberculosis can be found out by the culture based test and nucleic acid amplification test, and immune response to the Mycobacter tuberculosis that we can find out by the cellular immune assay or humoral immune assays. WHO has endorsed some tests for the diagnosis of the tuberculosis. There is a liquid culture, automated detection and MDR screening, molecular line probe assay to detect the XDR tuberculosis, and strip specification for diagnosis of the TB. The most advanced test, that is a gene expert assay and rifampicin resistance assay. It is the first major breakthrough in the TB diagnosis after sputum smear microscopy. In 2010, Gene Expert was endorsed by the WHO for diagnosing the suspected Mycobacter tuberculosis or HIV-associated tuberculosis. It is a rapid, fully automated nucleic acid amplification test, and it provides simultaneous diagnosis of tuberculosis and genotypic rifampicin resistance. It yields the positive diagnosis in 99 to 100% of the patients with smear positive and 57 to 83% of the patients with smear negative pulmonary tuberculosis. 81.3% sensitivity for the extrapulmonary tuberculosis. The results are available within 2 hours. So within 2 hours of sending sample, we can find out whether there is you are dealing with the MDR COX or not. So particularly useful in the TB patient with HIV co-infection and suspected cases of MDR tuberculosis. There are more specified tests for diagnosing resistance to the INS, that is called as the MTB-DR+, in which we can diagnose the INS resistance, and second is the MTB-DR-SL, that is for the diagnosis of the XDR tuberculosis. We can find out the resistance to the aminoglycosides, quinolones and ethambutol, and turnout time is just 5 hours. So within 5 hours we can diagnose that whether we are dealing with a drug sensitive tuberculosis or MDR or XDR or TDR. Second most important test that we are finding is a interferon gamma release assay. It measures the interferon gamma secreted by the T cells. 2 tests are available, that is a quantiferon and TB Gold. It is a blood test and measures the cell mediated immune response. It is more accurate and reliable alternative to the tuberculin screening test. It is a test to diagnose the TB infection and does not differentiate between the active TB disease and latent tuberculosis. It is unaffected by the BCG vaccination. This is very important. Before couple of years, we were asking for the TB IgG IgM. They are the serological test, but the Health Ministry and DCGI have banned the import and sale of the TB serological test, that is a TB IgG and IgM. So we should not ask for this test. There are two more tests which are under innovation, that is a breath analyzer screening test, in which it is a device that measures the actual volatile organic compounds and results are found within 10 minutes. This is useful in screening for the high risk group to prevent the transmission. If patient has got open cox, so whether that particular patient can transmit the disease or not, that we can find out by this breath analyzer test. Second is the lipoarabinomannan test. It is being used in the HIV co-infected patients. So WHO has told that we should end the TB strategy from 2015 to 2035. There should not be any case of tuberculosis. So in India we are finding many patients of tuberculosis and many mortality because of tuberculosis. To combat that thing, what we can do? We can go for the better and shorter treatment, affordable care, novel diagnostic and prevention. There are many patients in OPD of all the respiratory physicians. They are waiting for the cure. Some of are having MDR and some are having exterior tuberculosis. So worldwide there is an advancement in the drug treatment of tuberculosis. They are the Delamanid, SQ109, bedaquiline, sutezolid and PA824. But before that we should learn about the rifampicin. There are a lot of shortcomings of the rifampicin. What are the shortcomings of the rifampicin? They are the low and variable bioavailability. There is a subtherapeutic serum rifampicin level. It has got poor GI and hepatic tolerance. There is a multiple adverse drug to drug interaction, so there is a slow response and non-adherent to the treatment. So there is a novel rifampicin, there is a Rizorin. It is an outcome of the joint research by the CSIR and Jammu and Kashmir Pharmaceuticals and approved by DCGI in 2009 for the treatment of drug sensitive tuberculosis. It helps in maintaining the serum rifampicin levels. It improves the response to the treatment. It reduces the GI side effects. This is very important while using the Rizorin. It prevents the resistance to the rifampicin. How it prevents the resistance to the rifampicin? Rifampicin occurs because of the efflux of the rifampicin from the cells. So RV1258C is one of the efflux protein localized in the cytoplasmic membrane of the cell. Several lines of evidence suggest that piperin, that is one of the component of the Rizorin, is the efflux pump inhibitor of RV1258C of the tuberculosis, and that is why it prevents the drug resistance. As beta subunits of the RNA polymerase is the only target of the rifampicin, piperin enhances the binding ability of the rifampicin to the RNA polymerase and inhibits the transcription catalyzed by the rifampicin resistant RNA polymerase. So by using Rizorin we can prevent the drug resistance and we can prevent the MDR tuberculosis also. So what are the difference between the conventional rifampicin and Rizorin? The serum rifampicin levels are low or variable in rifampicin while it is high and sustained in Rizorin. GI tolerance is very less in rifampicin while it is improved in Rizorin. Risk of jaundice is very high in rifampicin and reduced in the Rizorin. The treatment adherence is very low in rifampicin and very high in Rizorin. So where we can use Rizorin? It is a preferred choice in treatment of drug susceptible pulmonary extrapulmonary COX, particularly in the conditions known to decrease the rifampicin absorption. Patients who are not likely to tolerate the 450 mg dose of rifampicin. It is an ideal switch over therapy for patients who develop intolerable GI side effects or hepatotoxicity with conventional 450 mg of rifampicin. See, suppose we start the AKT in the patient with tuberculosis, patient develops jaundice, then we are in dark. So if from first day only, if we are using Rizorin, then very less chances of tuberculosis failure of the patient and less toxicity as far as GI side effect is concerned. It is an ideal switchover for the therapy who develop the intolerable GI side effects and useful option in patient at high risk of the developing drug-induced hepatitis like alcoholics, elderly patients, malnourished, and hepatitis B and C positive patients. Now we'll talk about the newer drugs, but for MDR TB, WHO has given some guidelines. It has given emphasis in the place on wider availability of the drug sensitivity testing using molecular techniques and monitoring of the sputum with culture for early detection of the treatment failure. Treatment for an intensive phase of more than 8 months and a total of at least 20 months is recommended. Preferentially, patients should be ambulatory. The guidelines recommend ART for all patients with HIV and drug-resistant tuberculosis requiring second-line anti-TB drugs, irrespective of the CD4 count, as early as possible. See, there are a lot of drugs which are in pipeline for the tuberculosis treatment. In phase 2, there are bedaquiline, PA824, rifampicin, SQ109, sultazolid. In phase 3, there are delamanid, moxifloxacin and rifampicin. So, drugs which are available in India, that is a linezolid, it should be used in the MDR tuberculosis. It is emerging as an effective treatment option for the management of the MDR and XDR tuberculosis. Many studies, in many studies, patients have received 600 mg twice daily for 2 weeks, followed by once daily thereafter. In case of side effects like myelosuppression, neurotoxicity or GI side effects, the dose of linezolid has been reduced from 600 to 300 per day, and this can impact the duration of the treatment continuation with the linezolid. Culture conversion has been observed in all pulmonary cases at a median of 7 weeks in linezolid containing regimen. There was sustained negative conversion of sputum cultures and radiographic improvement in all the patients. Another new drug is a bedaquiline. It is not approved in Europe or India. It is approved by the US FDA in December 2012 for MDR TB for the adult patient. There is no cross resistance with the ethambutol, paraginamide, moxifloxacin, amikacin or streptomycin. It can cause the increase in the QT interval. There is no adverse drug interaction with other anti-TB drugs. It should be used only when an effective treatment regimen cannot otherwise be provided. But in some of the trials, there is a 2.5% higher mortality compared to the placebo. So, if patient is being given for this drug, it should be followed properly. There are a lot of combinations which contain the bedaquiline, and trials are going on for treatment of MDR tuberculosis. The second drug is a delamanid. It is approved for the European in 2013 for treatment of MDR COX. The sputum conversion rates are 2 months and recommended dose is 100 mg twice a day for 24 weeks, and it is undergoing phase 2 and 3 trial in US. It is not approved in US or India. Third one is a sultazolid. It is a linezolid analog. It is a better antimicrobial activity and improved safety profile than linezolid. There is no drug interaction with the antiretrovirus. It has potential to shorten the treatment of the duration. Fourth one is the SQ109. It is an analog of ethambutol and it has got low bacterial mutation rate and currently undergoing phase 3 trial in MDR tuberculosis. Fifth one is a PA824. It is a pretomanid. It is a potent bactericidal and sterilizing action. It has synergism with the moxifloxacin and paraginamide, and it has potential to shorten the treatment. It is useful option for the patients co-infected and adverse event. So 6 month duration remains the gold standard. Then there is a role of vitamin D3 in tuberculosis. Vitamin D3 is an important immune modulator in tuberculosis. The genes linked to the TB are vitamin D receptor gene. Vitamin D3 binding with vitamin D3 receptors activates cathelicidin mediated mycobacterial killing. So vitamin D3 deficiency increases the susceptibility and vulnerability to the tuberculosis. Interferon gamma responses have been shown to be depressed in patients with advanced tuberculosis. Significant improvement in microbial tuberculosis induced interferon gamma responses has been found after 12 weeks of the tuberculosis treatment with vitamin D3 deficient patients who received vitamin D3. So there is a definite role of vitamin D3 in tuberculosis treatment. So in India, 90% of the patients are vitamin D3 deficient. So according to me, it should be given to all the tuberculosis patients for total 8 to 12 doses every weekly. So now we will come to the prevention. There is advances in the prevention of the tuberculosis. That is, newer vaccines are urgently needed. So what are the strategies for the newer vaccines development? There is two strategies are being employed to develop the new tuberculosis vaccine. One strategy is to replace the BCG with the whole organism. There is a recombinant improved BCG or attenuated macroviral tuberculosis, and second one is to enhance the protective activity of the BCG with the booster vaccines, either protein adjuvant or recombinant viral vector. The main vaccine targets are the infants, adolescents, and HIV infected individuals. So to summarize, despite all the advances, TB still remains the major challenge. Rapid diagnosis of tuberculosis is possible by the gene expert. MTBR and MTBSL newer agents have potential to improve the outcome of the MDR tuberculosis. We should use the linezolid and moxifloxacin in treating the MDR and XAR tuberculosis. Vitamin D3 should be given to the vitamin D3 deficient patients. And for treatment of drug-sensitive tuberculosis, minimum 6-month treatment remains gold standard. And Rizorin offers an equally effective but better tolerated option to conventional rifampicin, particularly those who do not tolerate 450 mg of the dose. Thank you very much.